Howdy everyone, today we're checking out the best lever guns of the West. Black Bart, your days are numbered.
No, they're not.
Folks, before we get started, we want to remind you, please hit that like and subscribe button. Let YouTube know that you dig our content. In exchange, we'll provide you with a cringy gun meme. This one's been hanging around since 1873. All right, folks, just as an overview, we really love lever guns. There's something that's just old school cool about them. We have a few offerings from different manufacturers in different calibers that Wyatt and I put this list together on, and we're excited to tell you about them.
Yeah, we got old school, new school, and a little bit of everything in between.
Let's check them out. Man, first up, the Winchester 1873, the gun that won the West. Wyatt, look at that beauty.
This one is first because this has the easiest, smoothest lever of any center fire lever gun that I've ever shot.
Yeah.
It's notorious for that. That's why a lot of cowboy action shooters use it. You can see just how short and how easy this is. One finger barely. You can do it with your pinky. It's so easy. I know you're not a really big fan of this curved butt plate here. For me, it's great. I'm a little bit smaller, so it fits right in my shoulder. The buckhorn sights are great. The recoil impulse on this 357-38 version, it's super soft.
Yeah.
Like, if I was gonna take something out to go shoot all day that wasn't a 22, it's gonna be this gun. It just feels good.
Yeah, it's got a nice weight to it, which helps with eating up that recoil. And of course, like you said, the buckhorn with the brass front on the, it's real easy to pick up and just hold it flat. And like you said, I like the short throw on that lever. The loop is a little small, but you know, that's how they came back in the day. And again, like you pointed out, the ergonomics for me, not so good with this pokey part on the butt plate, but sweet, sweet rifle.
This is a 14 round capacity. It is a little bit tough to load all the way to capacity, but it does hold 14, which is really good for something this size. That's just a benefit of using especially 38 over something longer, like, you know, 45, 70 or something. You get way more capacity, so you can shoot for a good while before having to go and reload.
Yeah, it's still available.
Yeah, I gotta stand behind the brake. I gotta clear the brake on this motherfucker.
All right, up next is the 1895. This is the Marlin Dark Series. Woo! 4570. I like that. Wyatt.
Putting the absolute beating on that plate down there. Yeah, I gotta get a good stance on this, man. I'm about half your size. That is actually really not bad with that brake.
Nice.
Seriously. Yeah. I have two 1895s, but I don't have one with the brake.
Right.
And you know, they all have a little bit heavier wooden stocks. This rubber butt pad and that brake, like that's seriously like not bad at all.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah, I didn't even feel like 4570, honestly. No. I mean, it did, but it didn't. That's pretty good. And I love these ghost ring rear sight with that fiber optic front sight, especially in this lighting we have outside where it's a little bit sunny. It's so easy to pick up that green front sight with the right outline. But of course, you got your pick rail if you want to throw the optics on there. Throw a suppressor on there if you want to pull the brake off. You got slots, all the M-lock here. You got your QD.
You can mount up some quivers on the back there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you kind of got everything here. What are your thoughts on it?
I dig it, man. You know, one of my favorites was the Henry X when it first came out, because they went more tactical with a traditional lever gun, and I don't feel like they went far enough. But this definitely goes far enough. You've got M-lock, and look, you've got QD up here, so you can run a sling pretty easy. QD is repeated in the back. And like you said, man, the ergonomics are really good. This rubber stock does a good job. The butt pad really helps eat up that 45-70. It was very controllable. Obviously not as soft shooting as that 38 through the 1873, but it didn't bowl me over for being 45-70.
Yeah, I'm a pretty small guy. I mean, you see my wrist, man. I can't even can't even wear watches, but it was super, super soft. And I do like it's got a little bit of an enlarged lever, not too big of a loop, so I wasn't banging my fingers on there.
Yeah.
But it was still really easy to actuate, and it feels good. It's not as cool as my old 1895s to me, but I feel like it shoots a lot softer.
Yeah, no, this is a really cool rifle. All right, so we can't have a lever gun video without talking about Henry. Now, Henry makes some great lever guns, and for this particular entry, we kind of went generic and left the Henry 22, right?
Yeah, there's so many models of the Henry 22. You have the classic Golden Boy. This is the Evil Roy model. You have the standard model over in the truck there. The price range is pretty close on a lot of these, and there's just, we couldn't just pick one, you know. There's one for everybody out there, you know.
Soft shooting, a little bit heavier, might be tougher for the younger, smaller kids, but a lot of great features and just a lot of fun to shoot. Yeah, like I said, you've got the ability to load in the actual magazine down here. There's no side gate, but look at the finish on these guns, man. The beautiful burling in the wood, and then the brass receiver, octagonal barrel, and then the Evil Roy is super cool.
Yeah,
too.
this has a matte stainless receiver. This one also has the octagonal barrel. The standard ones come with your normal barrel, and you know, you have the blued finishes. Like I said, there's a little bit of a look for everybody.
Yeah.
You want a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, old school. You know, this one's got the
Little bigger
loop on there, and they're just so easy to shoot.
Yeah.
The actions are real smooth. That's actually why I like these over a lot of the other 22s. It's just such a smooth stroke, which makes it easy. I know you said the octagonal barrel ones, they're a little bit heavier for like a really young kid, right. But the normal ones are pretty easy to shoot. Yeah. These are great rifles to teach, you know, I think young children. Oh, yeah. You know, you're taking your girlfriend, your wife out, or, you know, trying to get your mom to come out and plink a little bit. It's right. Cheap, fun. Yeah. And the build quality on these is pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of a natural transition from a BB gun, right? Like
absolutely. Some people complain like, oh, they have like the zinc alloy receivers, but on a 22, you can shoot 1 billion rounds to this. Yeah. You're not going to stretch this receiver out or wear it shooting 22 long rifle. It's just not going to happen, but it helps keep the cost down, and the guns still really look great and hold up.
Yep.
We want to remind you that there's a full article on pewpewtactical.com. Check it out in the link below.
So next up, we've got the Model 1854, a new entry from Smith & Wesson, who hasn't done lever guns in a while. Chambered in 44, and see what we think. So, front sight is nice, but the ghost ring makes it a little more coarse for fine accuracy. You're up, brother. Yeah, good. What are your thoughts?
It is a little bit of a wide ghost ring. I am a little bit more accustomed to shooting on ghost ring sights. I actually have a Marlin 1894 and 44 Magnum with ghost ring sights. The recoil impulse isn't too bad. I felt like it shot pretty well at point of aim. Yep. The brass bead front is cool, but with the matte stainless finish and the polymer furniture, I would have liked to see a fiber optic front up there like that was on the Marlin 1895. Right. I think that would fit the motif give you a little bit crisper of a sight picture, but it's still pretty easy for me to shoot. You have the threaded barrel up here, a little bit of M-lock up here for some accessory mounting.
Yep.
It was pretty easy to load. The side gate is pretty thumb friendly, not gonna crush you there too bad. A little bit of pick rail up here so you can mount your optics. I do like the medium loop. You have to be careful. You can bust your knuckles a little bit on it. There's a little bit of a stiff breakover, but it really wasn't too bad. It's really easy to run. There is a little bit of slack in the trigger here, you can see. That's not really uncommon with a lot of lever action rifles. Marlins have those, a lot of that slack from the factory. This is just kind of a lot. But the trigger itself was pretty good. I felt like I got a nice, pretty clean break. There's just a little bit of creep there. Overall, this is a really nice rifle, especially for a company that hasn't come out with a gun like that in a while, and a removable magazine tube up there too. So a lot of really cool features in this one. What do you think?
I like it. I think, again, I would say kind of similar to the Henry X in that it didn't quite go far enough for me. I love this rifle. I think it's really cool. It's lightweight. That's one of the big things that you notice first off. It's a departure from the heavy steel and wood of the old school rifles. And you've got some more modernized features. I like that flat trigger bow. I think that's kind of a cool addition. And the butt pad did a really good job of eating that 44 up. But I feel like you could have more M-lock. You could have some QD on here. And maybe, you know, do something more with your stock to give it some more options like the Marlin did.
Yeah, I actually like that there's a little bit of a middle ground there, because you have those full tactical rifles like the Dark Series. It's nice to have something that, you know, doesn't have too much of a crazy Call of Duty look going on. It's still a relatively clean rifle, you know. It's still got some classic lines, but obviously with a fresh coat of paint on it.
With a modern touch. Yeah, if somebody imagines something middle ground.
For a company that hasn't made lever action since 1854, for the most part, like, I mean, it seems like a home run. It's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Last, we have the Henry Long Ranger. This one is in 243. It's also available in 223, 6.5 Creedmoor, and 308. But I had to go with my favorite caliber here, 243. Let's take a look. All right, so the Long Ranger, this is, as you could see, a magazine-fed lever action rifle rather than a tube-fed. So what that lets you do is use Spitzer bullets, pointy rounds like 308, 243, 5.56 that you wouldn't otherwise be able to use in a tube-fed rifle. This is a great hunting rifle because you have access to some of those calibers that shoot flatter, and you get a really great trigger here. It's pretty crisp, right at around 3.5, 4 pounds. I was just shooting 80 grain Hornady, the CX rounds, and I get sub MOA accuracy out of a lever gun, which is crazy to me. I was pulling 3/4 MOA groups with that off of a bench rest, 3-shot groups, and everything about this, it's just handy. The lever is easy to actuate. I get great accuracy. This has a really good trigger as far as lever guns go. And it's just a great shooter all around. A little bit of a departure from the old school lever action rifles, but pretty neat. Here, take a few shots there.
Yeah, I'm excited because if we think back historically, lever guns have put millions of pounds of meat on the table over the years, right? Like that was what a lot of people fed themselves with. So this one is a further advancement of that idea, it seems. All right, very cool. I like this. Yeah, the trigger is very nice. Pretty easy to hang on to. It's still lightweight. I would have probably preferred the addition of the little hammer extension because of the optic on here, but man, that's a sweet shooter for sure.
Yeah, like I said, this probably has the best trigger out of the bunch. If you're looking for a slim and trim hunting rifle that's purpose driven, this is gonna be it. If you're looking for something classic, probably not your bag, but if you wanna go shoot elk in the backwoods and you still wanna do it with a lever gun and have a little bit further distance, man, it's tough to beat.
Yep. All right, so not exclusively on the list, but as an honorable mention, we wanted to throw in the Henry Model X. Now for me, this is the gun that kicked off the tactical lever gun. Now this is not a stock configuration. As you can see, I've got a bunch of upgrades from Ranger Point Precision. Being able to put more M-LOK and even some QD up front, add some quivers on the side and the rear, cheek riser. I mean, you've got all kinds of options here. You can adjust this thing, so it just really takes the platform to a whole nother level. You've obviously got the ability to add a muzzle brake or put a suppressor on there because it's threaded. And it's just a fun gun. It comes in a lot of different calibers too. This one's in 357 and 38. Let's see how I do with it. Wyatt, what are your thoughts?
And that's really easy to shoot, especially with this sight setup you got. Like you said, this really kicked off a lot of the tactical lever action. It wasn't the first one, but really got the ball rolling. Great gun. It's awesome. It's like I said, especially with all these add-ons. You can see how great the aftermarket is for something like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and this slot could have gone to any number of lever action guns. You got the Winchester, you know, the Model 94, the Browning BLR, Marlin 1894, Winchester 1895. I got love for all those guns. We just had to pick one for a spot. If there's something else y'all want to see on the video, let us know, and we'll maybe we'll put together another one with all the other cool stuff.
Yep. Hey partner, I want to remind you one more time, hit that like and subscribe button below. Let YouTube know that you're into our content. We'd appreciate it. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. We just want to remind you that this is a list that we came up with together. We really love lever guns, but your list might be different than ours. So jump down into the comments below and let us know what you would have liked to have seen.
Yeah, we have a lot of lever guns between us, a lot more than what's on the table. We like to keep it to some guns that you can still buy brand new. It's kind of why we included some of these on the list. Like I said, there's a ton of great ones out there, but you know, we don't want this to be an hour long, so. Yeah.
Philosophy of use.
Philosophy of use.
That's going to do it for us, folks. Thanks for watching.